Well, thank you. Yes, my name is Juan. I am from Mexico City. So I am experiencing some jet lag. So my brain is not working properly. In this, just in case if I say something crazy, I can blame the jet lag. Okay, what is FunGT? This is a project I've been working on. This was for getting my mind off my PhD. I was doing a PhD, and I was really tired of that. So I started learning OpenGL, and this is what I've been working on right now. FunGT contains two rendering options. The first one is the rasterization, that is using the OpenGL pipeline. And the second one is a path tracer. That is the one that is using SYCL, and I'll talk about later. Also, you can do physics and you can do particle systems. How does it work? It works with the data parallel C++ compiler. Also works with the MVCC, just for the CUDA backend. And for example, to enable this on FunGT, you can use these flags to enable SYCL and enable CUDA. The full instructions are in the FunGT repo. Also uses very nice cycle features. The bindless images and the runtime compilations are very recent features, around 2025. I think that's the reason why it can be helpful in this conference. And by the way, why OpenGL? And the reason is because I was learning OpenGL, and FunGT was designed originally to be a game engine. When you start learning OpenGL, that's the first approach: loading models, playing with shaders, vertex shaders, and fragment shaders. And then when you start learning more OpenGL, you will find compute shaders. For example, if you want to do particle simulations, you need to use compute shaders. But I didn't want to use compute shaders. And this is a use case. What if I want to update thousands of particles using a SYCL kernel and display the particles on the screen? One approach is to send the particle positions to a SYCL kernel and then copy back to the CPU and then send the particle positions to the OpenGL pipeline. But this is very wasteful. So the solution is find an interoperability between SYCL and OpenGL. That works, but you need to use the OpenCL backend from SYCL. And also, by the way, the OpenCL interoperability is well known. For this scenario, well, FunGT uses an in-house library that handles all queue creations of SYCL. For example, in this example, I'm creating a GLQ, and I'm creating the OpenGL interoperability using that create GL interrupt context. The full code also can be is on the GitHub repo. This is the example of the OpenCL context creation. Basically, only search for this extension. This extension enables using the OpenGL buffer objects. Use them as an OpenCL memory object. So that is why this code needs to find that that extension. It's mandatory. This is kind of the pipeline for this cycle OpenCL interoperability. Basically, it does three things. The first one, once you create the vertex buffer object, the only thing you need to do is borrow the GL buffer for the OpenCL SYCL interoperability. Then run a kernel. You can put some crazy kernel there and just give it back to OpenGL, and that is the full cycle. Here is kind of a diagram, and it's very important to share that it never creates a copy. It's the same GPU memory, just different APIs taking turns on that memory. FunGT uses this for two things: particle simulation and physics collisions. I'm not going to explain a lot of the physics part, but the physics uses spatial subdivision for the broad phase. This means the objects are in a grid, and then I sort the objects using radic sort. And also uses shader storage buffer objects to store the matrices. This is more efficient. And the important part here is the positions are always on the GPU. We don't create copies back to the CPU. All the time is on the GPU. And if I'm not wrong, this image is from 10,000 balls colliding to a hard surface. What other nice feature is the runtime compilation? And the reason is, well, to do that is because FunGT has a kernel to update particles using lambdas. Why this is helpful? Because, for example, if the user wants to create its own physics function to move the particles, the user only needs to put, for example, the behavior and use the update method. And for example, if you can do it this way, but the final user doesn't want to write that code to the update particles. So this is another use case. What if the user wants to write its own C++ code on the UI, on the user interfaces? Or even better, what if the user wants to talk with it's AI. That's Spanish, it's AI. For example, what if the user wants to say to the AI, show me a rain falling down from the sky? So that's exactly where the SYCL kernel compiler is very useful. In this code, where it's done is FunGT takes the user code and pass it to a kernel. This is all on all the RTC block from Codeplay. I took the example from there. And one issue here is in the RTC block, the kernel only uses pointers. So for example, if we need to modify the parameter A, we must use a pointer. And if the first challenge was the update function that I was using works with buffers. So we cannot pass the buffer or the accessor to the set args for the kernel. That was the first challenge. But the solution was pretty simple. Instead of creating a buffer and an accessor, we can use directly the CL buffer and send in directly to the kernel. And that solved the problem. This is kind of the path to the runtime compilation. The latest code, the latest version of FunGT already contains the feature to talk with the Gemini API. So the user can talk with the AI and tell the AI that creates a crazy particle simulation. For example, I'm not sure if, okay. So for example, this is the user interface. You can describe the effect in that part. You hit the button to generate the prompt. After that, the AI creates the code for the rain in this case. Well, it's not animated, but trust me, that was a falling rain. But I wasn't able to put in a video or some animation. Okay, the last feature is the SYCL bindless images. This is the race base. I call race base for the path tracer. It can work with NVIDIA and Intel GPUs. For NVIDIA, you can use the pure CUDA backend and the SYCL CUDA backend, and for the Intel, just SYCL. And for example, it doesn't look very good on the screen. But for this viewport is using the integrated GPU. This is real-time viewport, so you can move the camera and the path tracer start again to compute the new view from the camera. Just a few details on the path tracer. It uses the BBH and also contains emissive triangles of. So, for example, the letters on the IWOCL are emissive triangles. Those triangles are emitting light. Also, the light bulb on the lamp. For this feature, the SYCL bindless images, there is no use story here. I just first created the CUDA path tracer, and CUDA has the CUDA texture object, and I found that SYCL uses the bindless image. Was pretty simple to port the code to SYCL. And the pretty cool thing here is there are zero code changes for, the same code running on the Intel GPU using SYCL runs on the CUDA GPU using this SYCL CUDA backend. There is no need of changes in the code. What else? What is missing? What I noticed in the SYCL bindless images is that it has no sRGB. So the hardware texture you need for that never applies the gamma decode. So you need to do it manually. That's the only, well, I'm not sure if I say it's an issue, but that's the only thing in SYCL bindless images. The hardware support, the SYCL CUDA OpenGL backend is under development. This is for using, the purpose of this is for using your NVIDIA GPU for the physics simulation and for the particle simulation. Future work, that one, the SYCL CUDA OpenGL interoperability. Also, I'm trying to develop a FunGT dialect because I think would be better if the AI creates some code like in the left side instead of this one. This is a very, very, very simple update function, but what if the user wants to do crazy stuff? So that is not proper. This reservoir base, because this way we can sample and reuse most of the path tracing. So this is more kind of efficient. But this is just in investigation, it's not in development. Some of my contact, the full FunGT repo. And I'm not sure if we are on time, but questions?
Sure.
Oh, sorry for the image. Looks pretty bad. Very dark.
You got time. Choose.
Questions? Thank you.
Question. The SYCL format. Does that mean you're doing triangle rasterization inside the system?
The rasterization for the path tracer, no, we're doing the path tracer. I mean, yes, we are doing manually all inside the path tracer algorithm. The triangle intersection, the final colors are handled manually because SYCL, the bindless image doesn't have the sRGB.
No, but I guess I'm saying you're not using the fixed function of the G. You're actually computing the pixel color of.
Right, because yeah, for the texture images, yeah. For image, for yeah.
You that after the first shot, or did you also try set up with multiple boundaries or Monte Carlo retracing or quick retracing or
No, just the Monte Carlo. I haven't tried another.
So it's mostly recasting plus
right
tracing the lights.
Right, exactly. It is not pretty optimized, but at some point I can do a better job.
Sorry, just to clarify, the sRGB, are you writing to the sRGB image or are you reading from it?
I'm reading. When I load the image, I'm reading the.
Yeah, we should be able to do that. So file button.
Oh, sorry. What was the question? Sorry, it's jet lag.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Okay, got it.
We should be able to do the sRGB in, but GPU supports it. So
yeah, of course. Yeah, but
yeah,
but SYCL doesn't. Well, the bindless image doesn't have that channel for the
sRGB. Against the spec.
No.
On the Intel repo, and we'll take a look at it.
Okay, got it. Thanks for your attention.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.